Okay, we finally made it to Chester, Illinois, home of Popeye and olive oil. And we're going to start with olive oil here at the Evergreen Cemetery. Beautiful place here. And we are in. Are you ready to see olive oil? A lot of beautiful stones here at this Evergreen Cemetery in Chester. And I'm always amazed at some of the innovations people do to hold those stones up. Look at that. They're like tubular, cast in place concrete with metal reinforcing. Look at that. It works pretty well. It's a new one. But olive oil is right up here. I see her gravestone and I see the familiar olive oil cartoon. Let's come over here. Yep. This appears to be the back of her gravestone monument. And we see the familiar cartoon. And it says donated by the Chester Eagles, Area 3252. Yes, her real name is Dora Pascal. And she was modeled after the real woman. It says inspiration for olive oil, Popeye's girlfriend. And we'll come to the side here and have a closer look. Beautiful stone that they made for her. Looks like it's pretty recent. And there is that's olive oil. But I'm going to show you some pictures of what Dora really looked like right now. They said she was an angular woman, tall and skinny. She had that black hair. She worked at the general store here. And she actually did wear her hair in a bun, one of those low buns by her neck. And it's really interesting. And we're going to go see Popeye next. How similar he literally invented these characters from the real people. It's quite remarkable. So, with that, 1872, 1953, rest in peace, Dora, and let's go see Popeye. Okay, who's ready to see Popeye the Sailor Man? Or Popeye the Real Man. In this case, we are approaching St. Mary's Catholic Cemetery, right here on the left. All right, I think we're gonna find him, gang. And look at this beautiful sign up here, right above the cemetery. All right, we are coming through, and I would say we're in. Up the hill we go. And what a beautiful terminus here at the end of the road. Look at that. Don't you love these? Every cemetery's different. Okay, we are heading towards the grave of one Frank Rocky Feigl, or maybe it's Feigl. In the comments, let me know. But he was from Poland, so what's the correct pronunciation for F as in Frank, I-E-G-E-L? But anyway, yes, he was born in 1868 in Poland. And of course, he was actually a retired sailor. And he lived here. I'm not sure if he sailed in Poland and came here or sailed here. Well, of course, he sailed here to get here from Poland. You know what I mean. But he was here in Chester quite a while. And it was said that he worked at the tavern here, Wybush's. And what did he do there? Well, he was kind of in charge of making sure things stayed clean and making sure order was maintained. I think today we call that a bouncer. And he did have a reputation to always be involved in a fight. He was a fighter. So he did have that deformed eye. And they did, in those days, I guess they called that a Popeye. And that's how he got that nickname. And he did always smoke that pipe. He had that pipe in his mouth in the side. So when he spoke with that pipe, it was just like the cartoon. Or the cartoon was just like him. And it was said that he really liked children. He liked to be around children. He had a big heart. He had a soft spot for kids. They would come and see him. Can you imagine? With that voice, you know that was his voice. That same voice. It's hard to imagine there was really a guy like that. It would have been cool to meet him. He was, from the accounts of the old timers, he was a very strong guy, and he never lost a fight. Now, the author of Popeye, Elzie Crisler Segar, who was also born here, he met Frank when he was a young man, a boy, and he used to sit on his lap or hear his stories, and he never forgot that. Those sailor stories. So he modeled Popeye after Frank. You know, I wonder if he had that laugh. And I'm not going to try to imitate it. I'll do a little insert here.
Wake up, Pappy. It's almost 1/2 noon time.
Frank's grave is right here. And I see another Feigl. It looks like it says Anna. Anna here. Let's take a look. It's an old stone. Of course, he had an old stone, but they replaced it recently, it looks like, just like olive oil. I hope they have the old stones, perhaps in the museum. I know they have a museum here. I'm not going to have time to stop. Yeah, Anna Feigl and her daughter, Celia. Looks like it says there's no dates. I wonder how old their daughter was. And there he is. Now that cartoon etching on here is the old, it's the old style, the original. Looks to me, just going by memory, that was the original drawing. Of course, it evolved into what most of us know. I'm going to show you a real picture of Frank, and when I first saw it, I just shook my head. I'm like, that's Popeye. It's unbelievable. Well, there it is. We've got Popeye, and I have another question for anybody who's watching here at the cemetery or at Evergreen. Is Brutus here, or any of the other characters? I can't remember them, but there was a guy who ate hamburgers, and I'll pay you Tuesday for the hamburger for today, or something like that. But are there any other characters here besides those two? You would think there would be, because there were inspirations for them too. So, all right, guys. Well, rest in peace, Feigls and Olive Oil back at Evergreen. And now I start the long drive back, the 6-hour drive. I'm like another hour south of the other video I did way up in Valmeyer. So it's gonna be a 6-hour, maybe a 7-hour drive home, but it's worth it. It was fun. See you guys. Be safe.
Pappy. Wake up, Pappy. It's almost past no time.